Hello, my name is Kong, and I'll be covering community and public space and parks. A healthy food system is an important component of any community. It can often refer to anything from its preparation, transportation of food, planting, and farming. The city of Pewaukee should adopt an approach that supports more locally sourced seasonal produce for its residents and increase the awareness of healthy options and diets of food systems through education. Education is an important component of the sustainability plan and may include partnering with other local institutions to provide activities, events, and programmings around topics of sustainability. Here are some of the general goals we developed for food and education. For food, our group found it important to have the city continue its efforts in supporting local and community farming efforts. This would include the initiative of community gardening to increase the selection of organic and fresh produce. For education, we want to focus on increasing in volunteering and engaging learning outside of the classroom with the help from Pewaukee School District. This next section will explore food. To start, we want to recommend the City of Pewaukee to continue to its efforts in supporting local farming and community gardens. This will additionally include the Pewaukee's Farmers Market program. Along these lines, we recommend branching out and partnering with specialized groups to assist in composting efforts throughout the city. This could potentially result in interested households or neighborhoods receiving compost bin with specific instructions on best practices and how to compost. Compost Crusader is a great example of a potential partner, having already established existing relationships with the city of Milwaukee, Shorewood, Wauwatosa, and the village of Sturtevant. The City of Madison has invested a great deal of effort into their Community Gardens program. The Gardens Networks, as it is called, is a partnership between Rooted, the UW-Madison Extension Dane County, and the City of Madison. Together, the Gardens Network's effort have established over 50 community gardens throughout Madison's neighborhoods, providing families with organic and fresh produce. A dedicated website exists also to help interested community members of all skills and age get involved. Along these lines, we recommend a pilot community garden to be implemented starting in Wagner Park. Continuing, in the map shown on this slide, the example shows potential areas where the garden can be implemented in yellow. We have a location near the center, close to the shelter, as individuals might draw water from that as a source, and we have the larger location on the southeast side of Wagner Park. The consideration for the garden to be placed alongside Green Road was not an ideal location, as the existing tree lands bordering the road could obstruct sunlight, and the noise from the road could possibly be dangerous for farmers. The second location is more of an ideal location as it is isolated and is an isolated spot away from existing sports fields and complexes. This next section will explore education. In this first section for education, we start off with recommendations of volunteering. This initiative invites people of all ages and experience within the city of Pewaukee to get actively involved in volunteering. The mayor or the city administrator could announce a volunteer month and give out a big to-do list for the eager volunteers. Additionally, educators can benefit by the added engagement outside of classrooms by developing lesson plans to teach about the environment and the impact of what volunteering does for a community. Continuing on with the idea of learning outside the classroom, this recommendation supports fundraising to support student engagement activities that are outside the classroom. Some activities include a field trip to the aquarium, the museum, visiting a dairy farm, apple orchards, and others. This recommendation is meant to provide a low-cost experience for students and minimize stress for schools as well as educators. We will now transition to cover public space and parks. Public space and parks are a necessary part of keeping communities healthy and connected. The city of Pewaukee should continue to preserve and protect existing open spaces and parks throughout the city. The city's efforts to maintain and improve upon existing amenities add value to the overall aesthetic quality of the city. Initial suggestions will be targeted around the expansion of park connections and accessibility in the city. Additionally, target investments on open natural community spaces will be considered. Some goals to this section we hope to meet are for the city to continue its efforts to preserve and protect existing open spaces and parks. They are a vital contribution to the physical activity and social engagement of others, and it is important to remain intact. We want to make sure that our recommendations also work to increase park connections and accessibility to all those that would use it. We want to promote healthy and safe physical activity for all residents in the city of Pewaukee. In our first recommendation, we recommend a sustainable park redesign analysis. This would include the accommodations designs that would include ramps and the use of safe surfaces around playgrounds. Include low-cost, sustainable elements such as rain gardens or low-maintenance plants, organic mulch, fertilizers, and composting. Finally, establish a requirement for sustainable plant sourcing. Plants should be nursery grown and legally harvested. Native or adapted species should be used in all instances with an effort to achieve plant species diversity. This recommendation is to create more activity in the parks. The approach is meant to motivate people to engage in physical activity outside their homes rather than staying indoors. We want to have people use the parks as much as they use their phones. Here's a list of ideas for potential programming that can be implemented at a park. This concludes the video for this section. Thank you.